Hello, my name's Jordan Reynolds, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
All right, so while Tyson Fury was over in Bolton yesterday, getting ready to support his very good friend Isaac Lowe, who's going to be fighting on the MTK show tonight, of course, Tyson Fury done a couple of interviews. And among the many things that people have been saying, how it doesn't look like Tyson Fury, he really wants to fight with Anthony Joshua, he's not giving us good news, is he going to go fight Wilder, and he seems down, he seems depressed, and whatever else. And I think there's something that maybe people either don't realise or maybe you've just forgotten about, which I'll get to in a second. Because people have been saying how is he about to go on this mental breakdown trip again? Is he about to walk into that dark tunnel again? Because his body language, he didn't seem too motivated, too interested, cross-referencing some of the things and a little bit how he was at times in the build-up to the Vladimir Klitschko rematch, which of course never happened. So they're saying, is he about to go down into that kind of dark tunnel again? Because he does have his days, he still has his moments and that. And while we can't rule any of that out, of course not, maybe he was just caught on a bad day. Like he was there to support Isaac Lowe, didn't really want to do any kind of interviews. And because the fight isn't official yet, he can't say anything. So what can he really say? That could be it. Or, as I said yesterday, he could just be playing the crowd, playing the fans. Okay, and yes, he did mention about how he's never going to fight in the UK again. I ain't gonna lie, that hurt a little bit. I'll do a separate video on that. But I think one of the things that people may have missed or maybe didn't know about is the fact that it wasn't too long ago that his nan died. About a week ago now. So that's his father John's mother, his uncle Peter's mother. So his nan passed away. Now, I'm not going to speculate on the relationship between Tyson, John, and his nan and that. I'm not going to speculate on any of that. But at the end of the day, she was seen, as far as I can tell, as like the head of the family, okay? So with her passing, I know Peter's absolutely devastated. I know he is. I messaged him to wish condolences and all that kind of thing. We haven't really heard anything from John, but John's going to feel it. And it doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how much of a tough guy you are, and whatever else, like John is, like Peter is, you're always going to answer to your mother, okay? The mother, when she says you jump, okay? That's pretty much how it is. And with Tyson and his nan, I'm sure a lot of you can identify with that, I certainly can, which is the grandmother always seems to spoil and dote over and whatever else the grandchildren, maybe more than they did with their own kids. I mean, I can identify with that. I mean, my mum is always like, oh, I miss you, oh, I love you, and kisses and cuddles and sit there and watching TV together, and she'll go out and make him sandwiches and like little snacks and things like that. I'm like, oh, I never got any of this crap when I was a kid. I did something even just a little bit remotely wrong, I was getting blasted for it, okay? But my kids get away with absolute murder. So that seems to be a relationship, and it will be for a lot of people. Maybe that was a very similar relationship with Tyson. Didn't really matter what was going on between the two sides of the family, such as John and Peter. At the end of the day, family's still family. So maybe he's down about that. That's a possibility, right? I think it's a real strong possibility as to why he wasn't too motivated, which is why he was saying not negative things, but it's almost like, well, I don't know what's going on, and what will be, will be. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And, you know, these are the kind of things that you say when you're trying to be okay for the camera, but deep down you're not. I think maybe that's what it is. But at the same time, I do feel that because it's not official, Tyson isn't going to give any kind of information away. And as he said, that's not his job to do it. When Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren and Bob Arum announced the fight, he'll pretty much find out at the same time we will. So he's none the wiser. He doesn't know what's going on. I know people were making reference to how he said about the never fighting in the UK again. He could be fighting Wilder next and whatever else. But again, Fury said these kind of things before. Okay? At times, no. When he was supposed to take on Deontay Wilder the first time, there was no date, no venue for a long old time. But the fight was on, right? That's what Tyson was saying. That's what Wilder was saying. Frank Warren and that was saying. But in this situation, while apparently everything's done, everything's agreed, it just needed an autograph, a signature, which I'm sure Joshua and Fury have already done now. They're just waiting on the lawyers to come back. Right? So, I mean, again, we could talk about how Tyson, he's been talking about inactivity, but yet before he says that he could just get off the sofa and go fight Anthony Joshua. He could beat Anthony Joshua with one hand tied behind his back and doesn't even need to train to beat Anthony Joshua. But now he's talking about inactivity, he's making up excuses and things like that. But Tyson has always been this way. Tomorrow he'll be totally different. The next day he'll be different to that. You don't know what Tyson you're going to get. You really don't. So anyway, for me, I think that there's a little bit more to it than just us wanting some positive news about that fight. For him right now, it's probably not a priority. His priority right now is probably his dad, right? That's probably his priority right now. And of course, he's over there supporting Isaac Lowe. He just caught on a bad day, maybe. Didn't really want to do interviews, but kind of felt like he should, or felt obligated, or whatever it may be. Anyway, we'll find out in time. As I said before, I think that he's just messing about as far as the Joshua fight is concerned. Deflate us a little bit, so when it gets announced, we get inflated even more than what we previously were, okay? Hopefully, anyway. Anyway, that's my thoughts. You drop me yours, click thumbs up, and of course, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.